Whales, tails, Prince of Wales. Johnny?
Hey, I'm a fan of a nice tail, Tim.
I know, who doesn't like a nice tail? Anytime we get tail and a new tail comes in, it's the best. It's fantastic. I love it. This video is all about tails, stabilizers, the back fin on your foil setup for Armstrong. We're gonna tell you which ones we like, what we like them for, and which ones we don't use as much, but we still appreciate what it is that they bring to the table. Sound good?
That sounds great.
Okay, let's start with the V200. I made myself a little bit famous with Army and the boys back in New Zealand when I said the V is for me. It's unbelievable. No, it's not a boomerang from the land down under. This actually is such a flexible tail. It's really good on the MA 1225. You can ride the MA 1000 with it, actually MA 1475. All the old HS V2 ones you can ride. You can even put this on a CF with a shorter fuse. You can do everything with this. Even the new HAs, I wanted to just test this. I put it on there. It was great. This is the V200. And the thing that continues to be really unique about it is the swept back nature gives you a little bit of elongation. So it's like having a longer fuse, but without the drag. And this continues to be one of the tails that I travel with every time I travel. That's for prone, for wing. Nah, we don't really use it for toe. We could though.
We should.
We should. We should try it. But anyways, that's the V200. If you don't have one of these, you really should. This one here, we're gonna go through pretty much all the tail fins for Armstrong. We're not gonna go through the Pump 202 because that's really a specialized pump tail meant to be used with the APF, the Armstrong Pump Foil. We're not gonna go through the downwind tails because those are meant to be combined with the downwind front. Now, this is the CF300. Now, the CF300 is the tail for the S1 series of fronts, and this is something we use in our lessons. It's a little bit more slow through the water, it's stable, it's good for heavier riders, and guess what this is? It's your secret weapon when you're wing foiling to start to learn how to jibe. Because this thing holds up as you go around the turn so that you can stand there and get more stability where some of the other ones might be a little bit twitchier. So this is a great one for beginners behind the boat. We don't really use it much in prone. We're not gonna use it in tow, but we will use it in wing foil if you're kind of in that beginner intermediate space. So the Surf 205, I think of this one as the groovy wing. Why I say groovy is it just has a real smooth. It's not as fast as the V200 and it's not as fast as the darts that we'll go through, but it just has a real nice feel. And so I like the Surf 205 mostly when I'm wing foiling, sometimes with the 1225 front, sometimes with an HA front, and I just want to chill and make big carves. And I'm less worried about chasing down wave faces. And I'm just out there to find my inner zone, you know, just where I want a little flow state.
I love this tail. Surf 205, I've used a ton prone foiling. And here's a little tip. It's good to use variety. You kind of get locked into riding the same setup. What I like about the Surf 205, when you pump and you want to link waves, a little wider, reliable tail, you don't have to work as hard. You're not going to be pumping. You're not going to be pumping as fast, but you can kind of chill a little bit and you're not going to stall out. This is a great tail. I've used it on the foil drive. I use it on prone.
Oh yeah, good for it.
And so sometimes you just want to mellow things out. You don't want to be working as hard, or maybe you want to slow things down a little bit so you can stay more in the pocket on the waves.
Yeah.
So that's what I use this for.
This thing's groovy. You know, I think the Surf 205 is another one. If you can have it in your quiver, you want to have it in your quiver.
Tim, look what I have. Speed 180. This is a great tail. Super fast, super reliable. The wider length on the tails gives you a lot of reliability. If you don't want a lot of rock and roll, you want to be going fast. Winging, I feel like for me, because I'm still kind of coming up the curve on winging, I like to have a tail that I can put on and not have so much going on.
There's a lot of customers out there who swear by the 180, you know, and that's like they'll put it on the MA 1225, they'll love it, you know, really enjoy this one. When I wing, I don't use this as much. I use the one you're about to show, but it's a good one. It's something to consider.
Tim, look what I have here.
What do you have there?
Probably my all-around most ridden tail.
Yeah.
Whether I'm behind the boat, whether I'm prone foiling, whether I'm towing, and this is the Dart 140.
Dart 140.
I think this tail is a must-have tail for an Armstrong rider.
Any Armstrong rider who doesn't have this Dart 140 should turn their gear in.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, keep riding what you like, but if you want a tail that is gonna give you responsiveness, it pumps, it's small, it looks cool, it fits in your pocket, you can take it with you wherever you want. This thing is great. The Dart 140, super responsive, impossibly stable in terms of length for pumping and everything. I love the 140. Now, what's your last one?
Last but not least, Tim.
Oh boy, it's a little brother.
Wait a minute, it's small.
Well, it's smaller.
Do you think this tail will even work, Tim?
I don't know.
What's going
look
on here?
Look how teeny that thing is. 120, well, I'll tell you what, I have seen my good buddy, Cash Berzola riding that thing.
If it works for him, it can work for anybody. Not true.
Not true at all, but I'm sure it's great. This Dart 140, you don't need to go down to the 120 if you don't have the 140. This 120 is for the man or woman who has the 140 right now, and they're like, I want to take it next level. I'm going to have a HA680 front, and I want super loose. That Dart 120 is going to be there for you. The crazy thing about this Dart is even though it's so small, it is very stable and it pumps well. This behind the boat, in terms of wake, this is our #1 choice. Again, that V200 you can use, and so it's not like if you don't want to spend $270 to get this tail, you can use the V200, you're gonna be just fine, you're gonna have a great experience. But as John mentioned, the more tails that you trade in and out of, the better rider you're gonna be. You pick up on the subtleties, it improves your pumping, it improves how you carve. I like it. Either one of these is gonna be fantastic.
Tim, do you think if we use the Dart 120, we'll be foiling like Cash? Is that possible?
I think so. I think when you look at the podium in 2025, once we're on that 120, it's gonna be you and me on the sides of Cash. And I don't know if he'll be first or second or third.
We'll have to find out.
I think probably not. But you know what? At least we can dream. We can aspire to be like Cash. Maybe we'll be able to pump like Oscar.
Let's go.
And maybe Ollie will invite us to ride with him down in Bali. Where's Sky Rama, by the way? Sky should be in a video like this with us.
Well, nobody knows the whereabouts of Sky.
Sky
I
is-
think he's somewhere between the Philippines, Bali, maybe Singapore.
He's lost somewhere in Southeast Asia.
We miss Sky.
Sky, we
wanna go
miss
foil
you.
with him.
We miss you, brother. But thanks so much for checking out this video. Hopefully this helped you with your overall stabilizer guide. If you have any questions, please drop us a note. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. It allows us to make videos like this. We love it when people say hi to us when we're out on the water. So we've seen people every break I've ever been to around the world. As for you, we see somebody. We're so appreciative of the Half-Life Nation. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Any final words, Johnny?
Keep foiling, have fun,
Get tails.
and get tailed.
You.